This will be a part 2 for the pardons. Now, Devon Archer was granted a full pardon by President Trump in March 2025, which erased his conviction sentence and ordered restitution. This according to the New York Times, March 24th, 2025. Archer was sentenced in February 2022 to a year and 1 day in prison for his role in a scheme to defraud a Native American tribe through the issuance of more than $60 million in bonds. He remained out on bail while appealing his conviction and sentence, and he ended up never serving any prison time before receiving his presidential pardon. The pardon also eliminated the ordered restitution of over $43 million. This according to the DOJ.gov website dated February 27, 2022. Yes, President Trump pardoned him, but Archer was a good rat, spilled a lot of beans essentially, and it was a payback, Trump called it, for a guy who got, guess what, yet again railroaded and prosecuted and weaponized against. Barack Obama pardoned or commuted 1,927 people, including terrorists and hundreds of major drug traffickers, and Biden pardoned Hunter for everything, yet when President Trump pardons for real justice, giving weaponized against political opponents the true justice they deserve and not abuse and misuse of the U.S. justice system, everybody screams wrong. Trump said openly that Archer was treated unfairly and that the prosecution against him ramped up after Archer testified against Hunter Biden in the 2023 House hearings. Just more fascist weaponization against a political opponent yet again by Democrats. Trump exposed his belief that Archer was a victim and not a perpetrator in the $60 million tribal bond scheme for which he was convicted. Archer and his lawyer maintained his innocence and argued that a trial judge had initially set aside the conviction due to insufficient evidence before an appeals court reinstated it. Trump pardoned Devon Archer because the guy got turned into a political sacrificial lamb the minute he started telling the truth about the Biden crime family. Mikhail Fior, a former Las Vegas politician, was pardoned by President Trump in April 2025, clearing her of a 2024 federal wire fraud conviction for misusing over $70,000 from a police memorial fund for personal expenses, including political fundraising bills and rent payments. Trump pardoned Fior because it was a fake case, simply put. At least that's what she says. And what's new with the Democrats and the weaponization, it wouldn't be the first time. Fior denies that she was convicted and maintains that she was never sentenced and that the court never entered a judgment of conviction. She has denied it all of the way until the very end thus far, and in her first televised comments since the pardon, she denied stealing charitable donations. Yet federal prosecutors convinced a jury that she did. Trump pardoned her because it was pure political revenge dressed up as justice. Timing screams witch hunt, and she was indicted in 2025 the minute Democrats thought Trump was toast. Trump saw her as a loyal soldier railroaded by the same broken machine that's gone after him for 8 straight years or more. Same reason he freed the January 6th grandmas and the border agents who got prosecuted for doing their jobs. When the other side pardoned Hunter for a decade of crimes he hadn't even been charged with yet, they lost the moral high ground forever. Trump just plays the same game, only he does it for people instead of his family. Fair is fair. The whole case was a Democrat revenge hit. She raised $70,000 in 2014 for a fallen officer's statue. She kept nothing and put $70,000 straight into a bond that matured in 2017. She then used her own cash to finish the project after a donor ghosted. Prosecutors called that wire fraud because she had spent the interest on life while principal was locked up. 0 victims, 0 losses, and 0 victims' complaints. Fior is a single mom and the widow to a fallen officer who then turned whistleblower on Nevada's dirty casino lobby. Democrats waited 6 years and then indicted her right before President Trump's second term, where it was turned into a federal circus. Trevor Milton, President Trump pardoned because the guy got the same railroad treatment by the same SEC/DOJ machine that spent years trying to destroy Tesla and Elon, then pivoted to Nikola the minute it threatened the green energy cartel. Trump looked at him and saw another American innovator who built amazingness from nothing, crushed because he dared challenge the EV monopoly and the hedge fund vultures who betted against him. If the deep state Dems come for you, Trump's got your back, essentially. The media sells that everything was a total fraud. Meanwhile, there were no victims, no money lost, and the trucks did roll, the factory did break ground, and the tech was not a lie. What Milton got convicted for was for saying we're shipping next year, when it was really 18 months off. It's called forward-looking optimism in Silicon Valley, but the DOJ called it fraud because he didn't add 90 days to the disclaimer. Jason Galanis received a presidential pardon because he was the ultimate deep state fall guy in a case that just screamed selective prosecution and outright weaponization. Same $60 million Sioux tribal bond fraud as Devon Archer. Same scheme, same restitution, paid in full, zero complaining victims. Galanis refused to be a rat and he got slapped with 14 years. That's 14 times the punishment for the same crime just because he wouldn't play the peep-squeak for the feds. Just another weaponized against man that is now receiving actual justice. Carlos Ray Watson got a pardon for the same reasons. He got turned into a political punching bag the second his One United Bank started exposing how PPP loans were funneled to Democrat-connected firms while black-owned banks got crumbs. His crime was overstated. The bank survived, every dime was repaid with zero interest, zero taxpayers lost a penny, and the same DOJ let Silicon Valley Bank executives walk free after losing $42 billion. Watson was one of the loudest voices calling out the Biden admin for giving away $30 billion to equity contracts to white-owned funds while black banks got under 1%. Suddenly, the feds hit him with 12 years for paperwork exaggeration. President Trump just saw another black American entrepreneur crushed for yet again daring to call out the real grift at the top. Same pattern as the January 6 guys, the meme stock traders, and every other target of selective prosecution. Watson paid his debt, exposed the real corruption, and now he's free. Justice is served. Scott Howard Jenkins got a pardon from President Trump because the guy was a textbook victim of FBI entrapment and deep state revenge. Most of these will be going down this weaponization route if you cannot tell by now. Jenkins was proudly elected sheriff of Culpeper County, however you pronounce it, Virginia. Now in 2023, the FBI ran a 2-year sting operation where they paid informants, begged him for badges and gun permits in exchange for cash and gifts. Scott Howard Jenkins took some bribes, bragged on wiretaps, and then got nailed. The reality here is that there are zero actual public corruption cases before the feds showed up with duffel bags of cash and kept pushing him until he bit. This is classic overreach and entrapment, sentencing him to 10 years for what dozens of other sheriffs have done, and they never saw the inside of a cell. Trump just saw yet again another America First lawman taken out because he wouldn't bow to the regime. When fascist weaponizers trap our people, we free them. Simply put, Jenkins is home with his family now where he should be. Entrapment doesn't pay anymore. Todd and Julie Chrisley follow suit. Their case was the motherlode of selective prosecution circus acts. They got slapped with 12 and 7 years in 2022 for a $30 million bank fraud scheme, inflating net worth statements to get loans. The banks admitted on the stand that they never would have accepted the loans anyway. Zero losses, zero victims, and full restitution paid before sentencing. Meanwhile, Sam Bankman-Fried stole $10 billion real dollars and got 25 years. But the Chrisleys got treated like cartel bosses for paperwork lies every reality TV star in half of Hollywood has done. The lead prosecutor, get this, was the same Atlanta USAG that spent years chasing Trump, and their star witness was, get this, their former employee who got immunity after blackmailing them, this per justice.gov. Trump saw a loud Christian conservative couple who refused to bend the knee to the regime and got turned into public enemies for reality TV fame, having their family destroyed on national television. Now, with Trump's one signature, they are happily home for Christmas 2025 with their kids and grandkids. True justice is yet again served. I think you can see where this is all going. Again, Trump's pardons are true justice and not a criminal/fraudster free-for-all. Stop the lies. I could go on and on with more of the people that he has pardoned here, debunking all of the claims that the left has just kept posting online daily about him freeing criminals and terrorists and fraudsters. But, I mean, I think you get the point.